like a motherfucker. Goddamn, boy.
Yeah. I got amazing timing. Fuck, that's
My boy
crazy.
said, I'm not missing a second today,
Oh,
nigga.
bro, not
Catch me
not
here right
this.
at the intro.
Listen, bro, listen, dog. Y'all ain't ready. Miss Ventura is cooking.
Yeah, man.
Miss
She is
Ventura is cooking. I mean, shout out to
as the
Hey, I do want
day.
to say this though.
Yeah,
Quick
yeah.
PSA. You know, not shout out to her, but just quick PSA. I'm sorry for everything you went through, Cassie. This is
It's
really
fucked up.
fucked up shit. You know what I mean? It's really fucked up shit. I'm sorry the world has to know about it, but in the name of justice, right? So,
Facts. It's definitely unfortunate that she has to relive, this
yep,
pain and anguish
exactly, man.
all over
Exactly.
again
So,
because now we have to dissect it, we have to react to it, and
yeah.
the jury has to watch these videos and things like that. I don't think they're
I
necessarily
know,
showing the
imagine that
videos and
shit.
stuff.
That's not easy. Fuck. I can't imagine that
Exactly.
job. That's
Exactly.
not
You
easy.
have to the very videos that you wanted deleted and buried and to be.
The world sees them now.
Yeah, it's like yeah, a bunch of people are seeing it. You have to relive that, and it's fucking sucks. So, but yeah, let's intro this. Let's get this opened up. To all my stoners, hippies, and hip hop enthusiasts, I appreciate you guys for tuning into the Doja Room this morning. This is a recap of day 3, and we're gonna get into a little bit of day 4 of what's happening today. I believe they already gotten started. I'm your boy DJ, Dope Boy Diesel. I'm trying to go ahead and make sure you guys know to hit this video with a like. I love the turnout and love how you guys been rocking with us and asking questions, things like that, getting into the conversation. So I always appreciate that. If you haven't already, please, 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 as I said before, tap into the playlist. Tap into the playlist. Let's keep the money flowing in our communities and keep the money flowing to these independent artists. So tap into the playlist. We got Diesel's Doja and we have the Melodic Ice playlist. So please, please, please. I actually think I recently just posted one of them up today. I just updated one today. So if you can, go ahead and tap in. Oh, where is it? Go ahead and tap into that. Go ahead and tap into that. It's more of a hip hop playlist. Not not the R&B playlist, but this is more of the hip hop playlist. So yeah, tap in with that with me so we can go ahead and get money into independent artists' hands. Okay. So without further ado, let's hop into some of. Well, let's get the little stuff out of the way and let's give some updates on the whole DDG and
Mhm.
Chloe Bailey thing before we get into the Diddy stuff
Oh,
because
that shit there.
oh yeah,
That bull,
there's been a lot going
bull.
on with that. There's been a lot going on
Oh
with that.
yeah,
So
for sure, for sure.
the first thing uh I wanna I wanna really look into and I wanna show to everybody is really how the people around DDG are reacting to such news. It's just it's real weird. So let
Yeah.
me get into what Deshay had to say. Some of you might have seen this, some of you might have not, but just
Shout out to Shay Frost. That's the homie.
exactly, just
Shout out to
look at
Shay.
some of this shit, and you're gonna see a
Shout out to
pattern
Shay.
here. You guys are gonna see a pattern here in what's being said. So let's get into it.
The Diddy used to tell me, nigga, she used to smack the shit out of him on the pavement. He chilling. She smacking the shit out of him.
Mm,
Real shit.
mm.
Bow. He was sitting on in his bed. Bow. Like real shit. That's what I'm saying, bro. Real shit. Like I'm saying, bro. Like I'm just saying, bro. Like he not gonna talk or whatever the fuck he want to say. Whatever, bro. He can say whatever he want, or you're not gonna say. But I'm not gonna let people think that my dog is some fucking abuser or something.
Wow. Um, so that's Deshay with his comments. I want to get into this next one because it goes even further. You even got his brother right here too. But I wanna get to this one right here that was posted just yesterday. Let's get into this one. This one's even more
Fucked up
damning.
shit. You get what I'm saying? Halle Bailey claims DDG attacked her. So listen, man. I've been around before while they got into it.
Hmm.
I've been around before while they got into it. And like I said before, I don't get into people family issues. I stayed the fuck out the way. I done seen them get into it before. And let me put it like this. I'm gonna put it like this. As a man, matter of fact, let me go to the hold on, wait. Have you ever been in a situation where a woman is just whooping the man? Matter of fact, fuck that. Let's go ahead and get into it. Halle was beating the fuck out of this nigga. I'm talking about swinging on this nigga. I'm talking about piecing this nigga up. Ha, 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 ha. You feel me? So, are you just, as a nigga, are you just gonna sit there and just hands behind your back? No. Like, what are you gonna do? Stop. Hey, stop. Hey, stop. Stop. Restrain him. Hey, stop. You know what I'm saying? Stop.
And man, I can
Fuck.
that's the perfect person to speak. And at the end of the day, this is exactly what I'm sitting here thinking when I'm looking at these bruises. And like I said in the past two episodes, we dropped a recap last night. So if you guys haven't checked that out, please go ahead and check that out. But this is exactly what I've been saying, and it's just weird. Why is it that every time, when these women come forth and they want to, have this expose and they want to do these tell-alls on these relationships and these niggas, that they always conveniently leave out their part in what they do. Now you
Yep.
have two of his friends coming forth right here and saying, "Oh, hold up, she be whooping his ass. She just be hauling off, beating the shit out this nigga, punching him in the punching and smacking him in the face." You heard Deshae, homie just laid up in the bed chilling. She'll just come through, smack the nigga in the fucking face. And the crazy thing is, and why this shit hits so hard for me is because I have been in a relationship with a woman who didn't know how to control her fucking hands. Mind you, I had never put hands on this woman. Never.
Damn, I'm sorry. I'm
Never
sorry
ever
about that,
did.
Diesel.
Yeah, that's fine. But I never put hands on this woman.
Yeah.
And looking back at how these women, look at these relationships, a person like me, I just left the shit alone. Like, yo, and I told her straight up, like, first of all, I'm a grown ass man.
Yep.
You not about to be
Exactly.
sitting here hitting me, slapping me. I'm driving the car, you slapping me,
That
hitting me,
shit's
bitch. We can
scary,
both
bro.
die. The fuck is
That
wrong with
shit
you?
is scary,
You
bro.
know what I'm saying? Or you get into an argument with this bitch and she wanna square up with you like she a nigga, or you know what I'm saying? Or like I said before, like, this bitch is literally, when I'm trying to remove myself and leave the situation, this bitch is in my car. This bitch is
Yo,
trying to stop me from leaving, trying to stop me.
shit,
You know what I'm
bro.
saying? Stop me from going
I've been
home.
there. Hey, I've been there when they hold you hostage in your own fucking car, bro, and you're driving. That shit is crazy. It's like
But
you would
that's what I'm
never
saying. But
think that that's able to happen, but it does, bro.
it
Like,
happens, and you're
yeah,
in this corner
bro.
like, okay,
Yeah,
I can't hit this bitch. I can't. You know what I'm saying? I can't do anything because number one, I'm gonna hurt. I'm a trained boxer.
yeah,
I'm a
yeah,
trained boxer. I'm a silver gloves champion. Bitch,
yeah.
I'm not fighting you. I'm not fighting you.
It's not
You
gonna
know what I'm
happen.
saying?
Nah, it's not gonna happen.
Exactly. There's no reason for me to like. I don't need to answer that question. I already know what the answer is gonna be. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But like I said, it hit so hard for me because at any point, and like I was saying yesterday, at any point, this woman, and mind you, it was documented. I had to start documenting and taking videos of the shit because
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, at any point, I could have been in a situation like this where this bitch is attacking me, trying to get into my
Lying
car.
on this shit, bro.
Yeah, exactly. She's attacking me, trying to get into my car, and not letting me leave and go home. Also, that she can come and turn around and be like, "Oh my God,
Yeah,
he grabbed me." She could have said the same shit, the same
yeah,
shit. Now, luckily, I was with a way more solid bitch than Halle
yeah.
Bailey. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
yeah,
And we
yeah.
didn't have no kid to fight over and shit like that. But it could have easily went that way. And then even going into relationships after that relationship where it would even remotely get, I never let a bitch put her hands on me. I don't even play
Oh, bro,
like that.
I'm telling you, dude.
I
Yep,
don't
I'm
even
telling
play
you.
like
You
that.
learn,
And
bro. You learn quick, and it's a sad lesson to have to learn. But it's like,
yep,
you know what?
it's not worth it.
Sometimes all and shout out to all my niggas out here going through
Hmm.
shit. It's like, bro, if she ever puts her hands on you, fucking leave, bro. That ain't the girl for you, dog. Don't listen to the bullshit. Don't listen to, oh, but I love you. And that's to women too. Either one of y'all. If the other person's willing to put their hands on you, they don't love you, bro. It
Yep.
ain't like that. Ain't real, bro. And it's like, it just sucks for this man because he's having the best year of his life right now,
Hmm.
like money wise.
Without her.
He's endorsing, yeah, exactly, endorsements. He has a beautiful kid. He
He
freaking
was
finally got
chilling.
his dream collab with Drake. You got Drake FaceTiming you, congratulating you on your fucking album release.
Hmm.
Like, come on, man. And it's like the timing cannot be worse
Yeah.
either. Going into the
I feel
summer when
you in
streaming is at an
behind.
all-time high, where you're
Yeah.
gonna be outside. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And it's like now he can't do shit
Not a
because
damn
now he's
thing.
got to go prove to a goddamn court that, oh no, what she's doing is bullshit, blah blah. While she's partying it up in what, Peru? Is it Peru or what? Where'd she go?
St. Lucia.
Oh, St. Lucia, yeah, with her toxic dude. What's his name? Fucking
Brent
Brent
Fayez.
Fayez, bro. Yeah, bro. It's like,
And it's
I mean, I like
so
Brett. No,
funny.
no, 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 no shade to Brett, but he ain't a saint either. But that's a whole other thing.
He's not. But and it's like when I was in a relationship like that and I got into the next relationship, I went on to the next
Yep.
relationship. The first thing that I told, the next person when it even got like that, I was like, first of all, look, I'm telling you right now. Because bitches, like, when bitches try to put their finger in your face and mush you and do all that. Whoa, whoa,
You're
whoa, whoa,
like,
whoa, whoa, whoa.
listen. I'm not a fucking dog.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not a child.
No, look, I just simply said, look, I'm gonna tell you, nigga, Dub, when I say I stopped the car in traffic after
And
dealing with a
traffic is
situation like that, in
crazy, bro.
traffic, I stopped the car, put it in park. Niggas is in New York City, nigga. Niggas is
Oh, dude.
wilding,
Oh,
beeping.
yeah. That's
I didn't
that's
give
almost
two
a fade. That's
fucks.
almost a fade, bro.
I didn't give two fucks. I stopped
Oh
that
yeah.
car directly where it stood. I looked over at her and I said, look, I said, if you ever put your hands on me again, if you ever make me feel
Ever.
like I have to defend myself, I said, because you hitting me, slapping me, and shit like that, if you ever put me in a state where I feel like my instant reaction is gonna be to hit you back
Defend
or
yourself.
whatever,
Yeah,
we're
defend
not even
yourself.
gonna go down that road. So I'm gonna tell you like this: if you ever put your hands on me again, this shit is done.
Yep.
Straight like that. And
I
I
don't give a
I
fuck
promise
where
you,
we are. I don't give a fuck where we are, what state we're in, what city we're
yep,
in, what
yep,
fucking highway we're on. You're getting the fuck out.
getting the fuck out. And I promise you that bitch never put her hands on me again.
Yep.
Never put her hands on me
Yep.
again. But
Yep.
it was something that had to be established and said.
Yep.
And then, even when we get to, how these women manipulate behind the scenes and shit like
Oh
that,
yeah.
I truly feel like he was being manipulated behind the scenes because bro was really minding his business. And even when I went through some of the documents last night
Yep.
in the video and really just hopped into that. But
Yeah.
matter of fact, I should just pull it up right now because
Oh yeah. Yeah. Why not?
I want to really. Oh, I still got it up. That's perfect.
Yes,
I
sir.
want to really sit here and want you guys to imagine and see how manipulative this bitch is. And it makes me, like I said, it makes me wonder, like, why lie about little shit like this. It says,
Exactly.
likewise, the weekend of Mother's Day, May 9th through 11th, 2025, I left New Jersey with Halo and went on a short vacation with my sister. Says Daryl again accused me of being with other men and posting about my relationship with other men. a true and correct copy of social media posts that Daryl began texting me. As always, this caused me great distress. I even texted him and hoped he would stop. So this is the text message that she sent. She says, Daryl, are you not tired of harassing me? You make up a new lie on me every day. I'm in St. Lucia having fun with Shermay and Chloe, not with any man out here. I wouldn't do that. I have Halo. I told your
Yep.
mom I was going to be with my sister last week. Please
Uh-huh.
let me enjoy my Mother's Day in peace. I hope you're okay and feel better soon. So I read this and I'm like, well, this bitch is acting like we didn't see these. And mind you, she filed all of this after DDG sent those text messages to her.
Yep.
Where are they? She filed all right here. She filed all of this after DDG sent, like, look, we can see the both of y'all in St. Lucia, nigga. So then for you to put into text, oh my God, why are you bothering me? I'm not with any man. Da 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 da. And then we have to go further. The internet detectives have went even further. My nigga, this is Brent Fires in St. Lucia. They zoomed in on his glasses and got the bitch who was taking the picture. And when you look in the next picture, Halo is wearing the same fucking hat. What the fuck are we talking about? Bitch, why are you lying?
Yeah, that
What the
shit is.
fuck? Why do you bitches lie about dumb shit? Now we don't believe you, bitch. Now
Yep.
we don't fucking believe
That's
you.
what, and that's the crazy thing is just
Why do you bitches sit here and gaslight us like we
yep.
don't have fucking eyes in our own fucking mind that works? This is the shit that
Yep.
makes me believe that she was manipulating DDG behind the scenes,
Oh,
and
100%.
when it came down to this
100%.
restraining order, she tried to flip the fucking script and make it seem like this nigga has been doing all of this abuse and crazy shit to her. All the while, you've been beating the shit out this nigga. When he did text you and say, hey, yo, this is foul. You don't let me be around no bitch, nobody with my son. But here you are with Brent
With Brett
fucking Fires,
Brett Fayez of all
and you're
people,
trying to
like I said,
gaslight
oh my
me,
lord.
and act like I'm not seeing what I'm seeing. Oh, so bitch, you're fucking around with Brent Fires. Y'all talk every day, and y'all just happen to bump into each other in Saint fucking Lucia. The fuck are we talking about,
Yeah,
bitch?
hey, listen.
This the shit that get me hot, bro. This is
Yep,
the shit
yep,
that fucking gets me hot. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? It's the same fucking hat. Look,
yeah,
it's the
yeah,
same fucking hat. Bitch, what are you
yeah,
lying for? What the
yeah,
fuck are you lying for? We can see this big ass turtle sitting right. Like, what? This is the shit that
yeah,
makes me wonder and question when a bitch comes and says, oh, this nigga did this, that, in the fourth, or whatever. Because why do y'all lie and gaslight over little
yeah,
shit like this? Bitch,
yeah.
all you had to say was, yeah, I'm with my nigga, and what? The fuck?
And
But she
DDG would have
knows.
literally just DDG literally would have just pulled one of those where he puts his hands up
And
and take 10 steps
exactly,
back and said, "All right, that's it. That's
exactly.
all it takes." Hey,
She
I'm with my
knows she
boy.
can't
I'm with
play
my
that
guy.
game with him.
Yep,
She
yep.
knows she can't compete with him in that game. She doesn't want to play that game with
Oh
him.
yeah, no,
She
no,
wants to
yeah,
be able to play
definitely does,
that game and still
definitely
be
does.
like, oh no, you can't do this, you can't do that. But I'm gonna pop out and have my son around a whole fucking stranger. Like the fuck? We don't know who the fuck, what the fuck Brent Fires does. Like
Bro,
what the
no,
fuck?
no, 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 no. It's not even that we don't know it. And this is the thing. Hold on, Diesel. Let's correct that. We do know what Brett Fayez does.
We do.
He
Shit,
tells
we
us
do.
all the time.
Yeah.
Bro, this dude,
Actually, we
we
do.
this is my thing, bro. Check this out. You listen to fucking music, bro. So it's like I'm sorry, I fuck with Brett Fire. I like Brett
I
Fires.
fuck with
But
him
it's
too.
like, bro, we're not gonna sit here and act like you a saint, dog. And he knows it. I don't think anybody's out here saying that, but
Hmm.
it's like out of all niggas you could be with, He's one of the most disrespectful, toxic motherfuckers that I know, bro. Like,
But
Future's one thing, Tory Lanez is one thing, but if you've ever listened to a Brett Faiyaz song, bro, you want to talk about emotional manipulation? This dude is like up there.
yeah,
Like, Jesus, bro. And it's like, you want your kid around that shit?
hmm,
You don't even know what the dynamic between those two is.
yeah.
Like this
And if
dude
I'm
Brett
Brent
could be
Fires, I'm
this
looking
dude
at this
Brett
like,
this dude Brett could be like, oh no, DDG just a hating ass nigga, babe. You should just end this dude. You should just
hmm.
end this dude and just keep the kid. Like Brett seems like that type of dude. No shade to Brett, but I'm being honest here. Like no shade to
You
Brett,
think
but
he
I'm being
dirty macking?
real.
You think Brent in the back dirty macking?
He probably is. He's that, bro. Tell me I'm wrong, D's. Tell me I'm wrong, bro. He seems like that type of dude, dog.
Oh man,
He
I mean, hey, he
does,
might.
bro.
I wouldn't put it past no nigga,
He
no
does.
man, because
Bro,
at the
this
end
is
of the
the
day,
same
you're with
dude.
her right now, and even with the him
Yes,
posting the picture
bro.
yesterday, like, yo, DDG, what's up? Like, that was kind
Yeah,
of
that's
corny.
what I'm telling
That
you,
was kind of
dog.
corny.
He's if Chris Brown didn't give any more fucks. That's who Brent
Yeah,
Fyans is. If Chris
but
Brown
at the
didn't give
same
any more
time,
fucks.
because even now, I mess with somebody, and I'm in a relationship where,
Yep, yep, yep.
I
Shout
let's
out to
just say I'm in
monogamy.
the Brent Fires position, and I
Yeah,
probably would
yeah.
have did the same thing. I'm not gonna lie, and
Oh
it's
yeah,
you
yeah,
never
but
know
it's
how
yeah,
the situation is being presented to him and how
hundred
he's being
percent.
manipulated in all of it. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
100%, 100%. But
So
my thing
I'm
is
pretty
though is
sure she's
just yeah,
telling him like, "Oh my God, he's doing this, he's doing that, she's doing the dramatic shit," and he's seeing her, distressed and frenzied, and thinking
that's why he's
that it's,
flexing on
oh
DDGs.
yeah, I think it's him thinking like, oh, he's harassing me, when really it's like, oh no, I think she's really frenzied because the nigga is living his best life. He was living his best life. He was not giving a fuck. The
Bro
only
was
thing he
having the
said
greatest
was,
year of his fucking life, dog.
right. The only thing he said was, "Let me see my son,"
That's
and
it.
like I said, like Holly Bailey just seems like the type of bitch who wants to micromanage you
Oh,
and wants
dude,
to
hundred
tell you
percent,
how you're
hundred
going to handle
percent,
your
dog.
son and how you're going to
Yes.
do this. And he probably was not trying to hear all of that. Let's just be honest. DDG
Oh,
probably
bro,
was not
no.
trying to hear
Yeah,
you
you can tell.
micromanage.
You can tell, bro. You can tell what type of dude DDG is. He he probably. This is my thing, and I can. You kind of see the dynamic here with them too. It's
Mhm.
like she'd probably be the. He'd probably be the one. Hey, babe, look at all this shit I did for you. Let's go have a nice dinner. Blah blah blah. Or let's go have a nice day. I have it all planned out. They go. She sees the fucking decor, and she's just like, "This is what you picked out," and it's like, "Bitch." Like
She's
that's
one of those,
who
yeah.
that's who she looks like, bro. Like,
Hmm.
and this, I feel like even through all this, check it right. Even through all this shit, and I hope everybody sees this. This motherfucker still loves her, bro. You can
He
see it. He
still
still
fucks with
loves
her.
her,
He
bro.
never
Even
he
though she's
never put
fucking him, bro.
bro, if you look at his if you even if you
He
look
loves this girl.
even if you look at his interview, his recent interview with the
Yeah.
Breakfast Club,
Uh-huh.
he doesn't publicly he doesn't
Hell
really
no.
publicly trash her. He doesn't publicly critique her. The only in first time I've ever seen him say something that was kind of damning about her was when he made the comments about seeing his son. But other than
Because
that,
that's his
he even
kid.
left the door open to say that, yeah, I wouldn't say that I would never date her again or never be with her again.
Bro,
He
it's the
even
mother of
left
my
that door
kid,
open.
bro. Yeah, it's the mother of
So
my kid.
yeah, so
You know what I'm
I
saying?
feel
She's
like
supposed to
he,
be my forever, you know? Like,
hmm, yeah, and I
yeah,
truly think that he might have thought that that's where it was going, and you have situations like that, but
yep,
one of those it is one of those situations as well where you just have too many chefs in the kitchen, probably
yeah.
too many people in her ear, way too many people in his ear, and and even when it comes down to my relationship, I try to say that to, like, what I'm saying, to my shorty, like, yo, when
Uh,
it comes down to us having disagreements and stuff like that, there's some things that we just got to figure out ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
yep,
if we're
Yep.
not in here beating each other's asses, it's not no abusive relationship. We're not in here every day trying to kill each other. Then nine
Uh
times
huh.
out of ten, the world doesn't necessarily have to, be able to weigh in on our day to day lives. You know what I'm saying? And
Exactly.
I think that's a healthy distance and way to keep things for everybody. I think everybody, even your own parents can be detrimental to your
Oh
relationship.
hell yeah, bro! That, like on some real shit. Like not to
Mm-hmm.
get into it, but it's
No,
just
go
yeah.
ahead.
That I had to do some shit like with my parents, bro. Like
Mm-hmm.
when I was in that little stage of becoming a man in my early
Right.
20s. I
Right.
when I finally moved out, I had to put some distance between them with the therapy and now I'm glad I did because I'm a better person because of it, and I have a better relationship with them, bro. But
Right.
like you said, it be the ones closest to you that could be the most detrimental, bro. And it's
Mm-hmm.
just sad that this dude, like you said, he just having the best year of his life, ain't hurting nobody, ain't out here being no disrespect to any other streamers, but ain't out here clout chasing.
Mm-hmm.
He's having literally having fun. He went in the fucking studio and made a body of work. You know
Dropped
what
a
I'm
fire
saying? And
album.
like, everything was going great for him. And it's just, it's really sad timing. And it keeps perpetuating this fucking bullshit narrative that men ain't shit. And just
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired of it, man. And it's just shout out to DDG, man. I hope you get through this, brother. And just it's sad situation, bro. Sad
Yeah,
situation, man.
I hate to see it. Like I said,
Yep,
because I've been in similar situations, and I've
yep,
been in
yep,
situations with just looking at it from a relationship standpoint
yep,
of being like, yeah, there's way too many people probably, and even when it comes down, like, I hope the women listening, if there are any women listening, like, I
yep,
hope the women listening, like, really know, like, you have to be careful what you go back and tell your friend. And this is specifically for the women too, because it be the women mostly who be driving the wedge in these relationships.
yep,
I can say for the most part, a guy might give you his 2 cents, and he might be like, "Shit, you need to leave that bitch alone." Like but a woman
yep,
is way more persistent and way more like makes you feel way bad or worse about you know the person that you're with. You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
And all the
Yeah.
girl, I would have been left him, and I would have done. Oh my god, I can't believe you just. Yeah, they do
Yep,
all of that.
yep,
They make you feel like, and make you genuinely feel like shit for being with a person. That's why
yep,
sometimes it's better y'all just leave your girlfriends, your mom, your aunties out of certain things that you need to sort
yep,
out with your man, because sometimes these women come in and you tell them these things, but
yep,
for one, they're already riding for you. So when you say the simplest shit, especially in today's day and age, they're ready to
yep.
paint you as a Diddy. They're ready to paint you as a DDG. They're ready to paint you as a R. Kelly or whatever. Anybody you can think of who's done some bullshit and they just fucking hate their guts. They just
Ready
it's
to paint you
easy.
as a Chris Brown. Fuck.
Yeah, I
Look
mean,
at
at
that
the end of
shit.
the day, you got to realize that, especially us black men and colored people or whatever, that we're we're already at a disposition. We're already fighting
Yep,
at a negative. You know what I'm saying?
yep,
We're
yeah,
already fighting against a net loss
yep.
because anything we do, we're walking around with people just waiting for us to step out of line
Oh
so that
yeah,
they
for
can
sure,
fucking bury us.
for sure,
Just waiting.
for sure.
So I mean, I don't know. We really gotta tighten up on shit like this, and
Oh, but it's
I hope.
just, and it's not even just tighten up these. It's like my thing is though. I was talking to my homie about it. That
Uh,
he's not really going through this. I mean, he's going through the same thing, but he's not letting it bother him. He's still living his
mm,
life. He has another kid. He has two baby mamas. But basically, his first one's kind of doing the same shit with Hallie, just um, not obviously not the extremes that she's going to. But it's like he was just telling me the same shit, bro. It's just like if you are the type of person that you can't get over the fact that y'all aren't together no more, why did you
mm,
choose to have it? Why did you think having a kid was the answer? Like
right.
this is my thing. If you aren't sure that that's your person, why are you gonna have a kid with them, bro? Like
That's
you know what I'm
facts.
saying? And I feel like what this situation shows is I'm not saying they shouldn't have had a kid because they probably did love each other, and he still loves her. But it's just like I feel like in those types of situations, men need to tighten up and they need to be like, "Hey, look, man, this girl,
Hmm.
she's sitting here doing this, doing that, doing the most. I don't know that shit. You ready to take that till death do us part, Val? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
yeah, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And it's just like I don't know, man. It just tighten up, guys.
I
We
mean,
gotta.
what I
You
said,
know,
if
you don't want to
what
be
I
in
would
this
do
situation.
exactly,
You don't want to
and
be
what
in
I
this
said
one.
I would do in this situation if I was DDG, and in this post that a lot of people seem to be agreeing with so far, this post that says he got to start a new family, and I agreed. I said I'm not gonna lie, I'd make a video to my son, and I'd leave them the fuck alone. Live my life and move on. When my son is old enough to express that he wants to be with me, and then I'd be there. I wouldn't fight for custody or anything. Give her what she wants for the first
Yep.
5 years, and then revisit this.
Let your
I would
kid
leave them
know,
the
but it's
fuck
like let
alone.
your kid grow up. Yeah, let your
Yeah,
kid grow up.
I'm not gonna lie, DDG, leave them the fuck alone. That's
It
what I would do.
sucks,
And a lot
bro.
of people, I ain't gonna
Fucking
lie, there
sucks.
was a good comment. Somebody commented to me, and I wanna provide this pushback because
Go
somebody
ahead.
commented back. They said solid plan if that's how you want to roll with it. Except that hoe will be so mad that she will make DDG go near broke by the amount of child support she'll get. Him not being in the kid's life at all will give the judge all the ammo he needs to give her the max amount of money. So I said, shit, I ain't gonna lie, you damn near should just pay it because
Uh huh.
pay her what she wants. Still support
Yep.
the child. Send her money.
Yep.
Do whatever. I'm not saying that, but leave them the fuck alone. Send that
But
check.
check
Have your
it.
assistant
Yep.
drop off a check or send a check every month. But other than that, I wouldn't call. I wouldn't text. I
Yep.
wouldn't show up.
Yep.
I wouldn't call for any fucking thing. I wouldn't do
Nope.
after this. After
Nope.
you just tried to
You want a
assassinate me,
restraining order, bitch? You want a
after you
restraining order?
shoot,
I'm gonna show you a
after you
restraining order.
permanently put this on my jacket,
Yep. Yep.
because you got to realize in this day and age, and in this world, especially on Twitter, you have a demographic of people that even if it's proven that DDG never did a goddamn thing that she's saying,
Just the fact that
there's
it happened.
still going to be people saying
Yep.
that he did it.
Yep. Yep.
No,
Yep.
they're going to be so fucking delusional that they're going to say, "Oh no, he did it. I'm sure he did it at some point. I'm
Oh.
sure he did something. I'm sure he." They're
Yeah, that's
still
those.
going
That's
to
I
make
hate
him.
those. I hate those fucking people, bro. I'm just like, I can prove to you that a motherfucker didn't do something. Oh, but you were with him 24/7. You don't know. It's like, all right, bro. Okay,
Yeah.
you can have that.
And it's just
Like,
crazy. It's just crazy how they act.
choose to look at the worst in people. Go ahead.
Hmm.
Like shit, bro. Have a depressing ass life and do that. That, bro. But see,
Yeah, we
real
don't
quick
we don't
though,
give
just before
anybody
you.
room to be human anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. I was just saying real quick before I know you want to move on to the Diddy thing too.
Uh huh.
But I just want to say, based off of what the guy said, like, oh, I kind of agree. I agree with you 100%, D's. I think that's the best course of action. And to the guy saying, oh, like you're gonna pay a massive amount of child support, I don't think it's gonna be that massive, just because she has a lot more going for her right now because
Uh
she was a Little Mermaid. She
yeah.
has the Disney connects. Pretty sure she's gonna be in Disney projects coming up here.
She's going to
She
film a
always
movie for the
has
next
that
2 months.
lifeline. She always has that lifeline. So it's like, plus, not to mention who her sister is. Her sister's always gonna help her out. So it's like, it would be an interesting. It would be an interesting custody case for sure. It
Yeah.
would be interesting. I don't think it's just gonna be straight up. Oh, I'm throwing the fucking book at him. He's gonna owe her like half a mil a month. Like, no, it's he he can show that she makes pretty good damn money. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? She ain't out here like not working or nothing. So to the guy that tried to tell you that, I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah. I think it'll be difficult for her to get to make him go broke. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
what I'm
He's
saying.
hard.
That's what I'm
He
saying. That's
works
what I'm
really
saying,
hard.
bro. She's too liquid. She has
Yeah.
too many. She has too many connections.
And he's
Bro.
one of the
Once you do a
biggest streamers
Disney
in the world.
movie, once you do a Disney movie like that, bro, it's pretty fucking hard to not be known. Especially the Little Mermaid, dog. Like,
Bad or
regardless of
good.
how well it did or not, like
Yeah, bad or good.
it's pretty
You're
hard.
gonna.
Yeah, you got
Yeah,
that connection for life. So,
yeah, and you have Beyonce and Jay-Z in your back pocket. Like, you know what I'm saying?
oh,
And we
bro, they're
already.
probably. I'm gonna be honest.
That's
The
why he's
fucking
really
Desiree
fucked. That's
Perez.
why I really think he's fucked because you going
Yeah,
against
because
this
Desiree
whole Rock
Perez is a
Nation shit.
fucking. She's fucking Medusa, bro.
Yeah. So that's where the difficulty comes in, and when it comes down to
Uh huh.
battling in courts and shit like that, that's where I feel like it's gonna. And I feel like for the most part, that's what DDG was trying to avoid, is trying to set up things on her terms where it should be 50-50, and she doesn't necessarily treat this like a 50-50 thing. So
Oh yeah.
or
That's what I would do if she wants to take it there. If she wants to take it there, let this little 2 month restraining order cease, because it's like 2 months, right? That's how long the restraining order
yeah, I
is. It's like
believe
two
so. Yeah,
months, right?
yeah,
And so I'd let that shit cease, bro. The day or the minute that shit is over, bitch, subpoena, we're going to court. I'm letting the judge know everything. I'm gonna bring in Deshay. I'm gonna bring in all these people that are witnesses, and I'm gonna make sure people fucking know who the fuck you are, and we're gonna settle this shit. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Like you're not gonna try to bankrupt me and take my kid from me.
yeah,
Okay, you're either doing one or the motherfucking other. Okay, like you ain't doing both to me. Okay, so that's what I would do personally.
yeah.
Like, yeah, like
I think you definitely got a point.
yeah, bro. Because the way it's looking, it's pretty fucking bad. Like, if he just doesn't do anything, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
but you know,
but
maybe
I
he
don't know.
needs to hire Brian Steele, bro. Fuck.
Hey, Brian's still busy. Brian still got
Oh,
his
that's
hands full.
right. That's right. That's right.
Brian still got his hands full, buddy.
Oh shit, he Johnny
Um,
Cochran in this motherfucker right now.
yeah, Brian still is in the new OJ case, the new case of the
Yep,
decade.
yep.
This is
That
the case of
motherfucker
the
busy for the
decade.
next like 10 years.
Yeah. So with that being said, it's a perfect segue to go
Yes,
ahead and
sir.
pick up where we left off yesterday.
Mhm.
Um,
Miss
and
Ventura.
yeah, because yesterday they had a sidebar, and then they came back, and we're gonna continue exactly where we left off yesterday.
It was at like 4 p.m. Right?
This
4
is
p.m.
11.
yesterday. Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
This is
Okay.
11. This was
Okay.
they started back up at 11:10 a.m.
11:10. Got you. Got you. Go ahead.
Yes, yes, sir. So, and it looks like they offered more exhibits. So
Oh
they
Lord.
said, "What did you say here?" And Cassie says, "I'd been told there was a sexually explicit video out there about me. I reached out to Sean. And then what? We were driving back to NYC from Atlantic City to talk to this DJ Who Kid. Um, did that happen?" She says, "At a restaurant." Uh, what was security's role? To intimidate. They were lining the room. Um, who is there? She said, Uncle Paulie James Cruz. They says, how would you recover from freak offs? She says, I take opioids. I wanted to feel numb. We'd get massages and IV fluids. The chef would cook us something. How often did you take opioids after freak offs? She says, often. I got urinary tract infections.
Oh fuck.
She says, were the UTIs painful? She says, very. Antibacterials didn't work anymore.
Damn.
She asked, how did it feel during freak offs? She says, burning. I would not advise it. They
Fucking
asked,
nasty,
let's
bro.
let's let's read this out loud. She said, I have all these sores on my tongue. I have another UTI.
Ugh.
What sores? Friction in my mouth.
Oh
From what?
shit.
Oral sex. You said another UTI, then sad face emoji. I was open with him about them. So, do you feel sick? Why are you sorry? I I took the blame for things.
Damn.
Uh, they asked which escort would go to sex clubs with you and Sean. They said Jules. They asked the escort from the Intercontinental in LA. She said yes. Did you want to have sex with Jules ever? She said no, but I knew him.
Oh shit.
They asked why did you do it? She said Sean. They asked who was present when Sean put his hands on you at freakouts. She said sometimes the escort was there too. They asked in the same room. She said
Wow.
yes, Jules. And in the suite, she said yes. Were they aware? Defense says objection. Judge overrules. She says yes. Ventura, the escort would ask me if I was okay afterward. Uh, they asked, in what cities did he put his hands on you? She says, NY, LA, Miami. How frequently? Too frequently. What's the Abbey? She says, a gay club in LA. I went there with my friend. She says, where were you going? She says, to a music festival in Canada run by Drake. Sean came to my home
That
and
shit
tried
is
to attack
crazy.
me. I was thrown into the bed frame. So she was trying to go to this festival in Canada, obviously in
OVO
one of
Fest.
I'm pretty sure it was OVO Fest, and yeah, it seemed like Diddy was very upset with her for this. Um, they said, "What's this?" She says, "A photo of my eye afterwards." They asked, "Who took you to the doctor?" She says, "D Rock." They asked, "Did you send this photo to Sean?" She says, "Yes," and I wrote, "So you can remember. I wanted him to be sorry about it at least." She says, "In this photo," she asks, "In this photo, where were you?" She says, "In the green room in Toronto. I put hair over my eyes. Then we went to the Hamptons." So she had this, and the way she described it, because I had a person in there, like I said, and
Uh
they
huh.
were very detailed on this part of it, and they note that she mentioned having this big gash over, over her eye, and
Interesting.
that she
Interesting.
wanted to go to OVO Fest and things like that, and
Interesting.
it was basically deaded. And
Yeah.
anytime he said, anytime you would see Cassie with a swoop over her eye,
Yep.
then she would that means she was trying to cover a gash or a black eye
Yeah.
or some shit like
Uh
that. So whenever
huh.
you see Cassie with that swoop, she was usually
Wow.
trying to hide something. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. There's a lot of iconic pictures of her like that.
Yeah. He specifically told me to look up the. Hold on.
Real quick, while you're looking that up, just I want to say, dude, like, imagine being her fucking husband in there.
Oh, he made note of that too. He told me
Yeah.
he
He
that she
glared at him, didn't he? Didn't he like glare at Diddy or something while she was talking?
he told me that he was looking at Diddy and his and Diddy's family while they were in there. And even we're gonna get to so we're gonna get to one point of this. He says they even had to remove him for one part of where they're going to get, towards the end of their
Uh,
relationship. We're even going to see how, they they had to remove him because they were like, they didn't want him to listen to, the
yeah.
the next part of everything. But
Yeah. Yeah.
supposedly this is, and let me just switch over, but
Yeah.
I want to make it larger. But apparently
Yeah, no problem.
this is the day after. Oh my god, I had, of course. Apparently this is the day after, right? Of the whole I really want to add the movie because it's a bigger picture. But this is the day after the whole intercontinental incident where, she
Uh
had
huh.
a bruise here that she's covering up, and that's why she has
Yep.
her hair flicked over like this in particular, because she said I had a movie premiere that I had to go to, remember? And she was saying you know that's why I was trying to leave the freak offs and I wasn't trying to do everything because I needed to get ready. I had stuff to do. I had this movie premiere or whatever. So and she had to pop up, but he was beating on her. He was beating on her the whole time, and he was even beating her on the way there to this event
Yeah,
in particular.
yeah,
Okay, so remember I said that. Remember how she looks and how she's flipping her hair over because she has to basically cover all of that shit up. So getting
yeah.
back to that, they ask, "What's this?" And she says, "A photo of my eye afterwards." She says, "Who took you to the doctor?" She says, "D-Rock." They ask, "Did you send this photo to Sean?" She says, "Yes, and I wrote so you can remember. I wanted him to be sorry at least." She says, "In this photo, where were you?" She says, "In the green room in Toronto, in the Hamptons. I put hair over my eyes. Uh, then we were, uh, then we went to the Hamptons." She says, "Sean wanted to have freak offs in the Hamptons. We got a hotel and an escort." She says, "Which one?" She says, "Dave. I took GHB. I don't even know what the fuck GHB is,
I think
but
that's it's like a hormone. It's like a not a hormone, but isn't it like it's like a supplement. I'm not exactly sure. I think it's a
it's fucking
supplement.
crazy. It's some shit." She said, "I
Yeah.
went into a G hole, what? And blacked out. I woke up nude in the shower. Dave and Sean were freaking out. I bugged out. It wasn't pretty. Then what?" She said, "I spoke to a friend of Sean's and then we had a freak off." God damn, sis.
Damn, that's
You
that. Damn,
blacked
just
out.
get to it. Just get to it. Fuck.
The, you blacked out.
Fuck.
You know what I'm saying? The nigga, he's over here, oh shit, thinking something's wrong with you. So then he's like, "Oh, okay. Oh, all right, you all right? Oh, you
All
good?
right, let's
All right,
freak
bet, bet."
off. Like,
So,
like
so
shit,
sleep
bro.
that off. So go ahead and sleep that off, and then we gonna get back to it. Like, god damn, like what the fuck?
Bro, but this is my thing though. It's just like real quick. Like, have you noticed? It's like, it's almost unbelievable. I'm not like, all right, to all the viewers and listeners, I'm not
Hmm.
sitting here saying what she's saying is not true.
Right.
Obviously, this motherfucker did this shit, but like, it's almost not believable, right? Like, is it just me feeling that way, D's, or is
Like
it
the how all
like,
of this shit is going, like how
yes, bro, it's playing like a fucking movie,
movie.
dog.
Like
Like
this would make
this is a
some prime
Lifetime
time
movie,
oxygen
bro.
TV, nigga.
This is like some 50 Shades of Grey mixed with a Lifetime movie.
Oh,
Fucking crazy, bro.
I see. I would see Cassie definitely getting the bag for this. Definitely.
Oh, bro, to write a book? Jesus Christ, she would. She probably get a 10, 15, $20 million advance. Shit. Just to write this shit.
No, for facts. She
Oh,
most
bro.
definitely would.
I,
But
I, I, I can already see the BET movie now. Just don't put that shit on Tubi. They gonna get a motherfucker that don't look like Diddy playing Diddy.
no, I mean, you wouldn't even have to. You wouldn't even have to dramatize this for real, and it was still. And you can tell it as is, as presented here in court, and it would still be some fucking amazing TV. Like I'm not even gonna lie.
That's what I'm saying, bro. A HBO Max series. Jesus Christ.
HBO Max,
Surviving,
something.
surviving the freak offs.
They're
You know
gonna
what
do
I'm
something with
saying?
this.
Like,
She's gonna get a bag to do so. I mean, I don't know if she's ever gonna be comfortable with, you know, because
oh
Cat
no, if she can't even tell a jury of her peers what happened, she ain't gonna sit in a writer's room and fucking help them write it. Fuck no.
and not only
Fuck
that, but reenact it, and
yeah.
basically, I don't know. But if she wanted to
It's
get a
tough.
bag,
It's tough.
if
Yeah,
she
it's
wants to
tough.
get a bag, that bag is sitting there, because I'm pretty sure they already are trying to make
Oh,
movies
she's been
and this, that,
approached.
and
She's
the third.
been approached for sure.
For sure, for sure.
Oh
So,
yeah.
but yeah, I know
Yeah.
that's some good TV.
Oh
But
yeah.
getting back to it, she says she asks, "Then what?" She says, "I spoke to a friend of Sean, and then we had a freak off." She says, "What's this?" She says, "My eyebrow healed up a little bit a week later. I have a permanent scar on my eyebrow." She asks, "What's this?" She says, "Me and what Canes Festival? Oh, Canes Festival. I thought it was a person. I'm sorry. She said, "What happened to Canes?" It is a person. She said, "Sean accused me of taking drugs from his boat. He threw me off, but my passport was
Damn,
still on the boat. God damn!
bro, he threw her off a boat.
Like,
Bro, what
what
the
the?
fuck?
Yeah, these niggas is going crazy.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. That motherfucker didn't care about her
Look,
ass, bro.
scratch that.
I'll
It
tell
can't
you
be a
what.
movie. It has to be a whole season. It would have to
That's
be
a
a
bro.
whole.
I'm telling you, it's gonna be a show, dog.
It
It's
would
gonna
have to
be
be
a
a whole
show,
season.
bro. It's
Yeah,
gonna
it
be
would
like
have.
3 or 4. It's gonna be 3 or 4 seasons, bro. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, it would have to be 3 or 4
Yeah, dude.
seasons or of just surviving this shit.
Yeah,
And
bro.
I'm telling
Hell
you,
yeah.
it would make for some amazing TV. Like
Yeah.
I'm talking like some Game of Thrones red wedding shit. Like so,
Oh, dude. Like
so
the season finale is like, you just see fucking Cassie.
the
You
season
just see
finale gonna be
fucking
this fucking
Cassie coming
trial.
off the boat and shit.
Yeah.
No, I'm going fuck this shit, bro. You're like, yeah, bro. Like, you just see this. You just see Cassie getting thrown off the boat, and it says like to be continued.
Yeah, facts. So
Like, that shit is
getting thrown off the
crazy.
boat is crazy. And it says, and were you on the red carpet that same night? She says
What
yes.
the fuck,
That was the
bro?
red
What,
carpet photo. So that was the red carpet photo.
bro?
Like I said,
What the fuck is going on?
the same night,
The
she
same
got
night you got thrown
thrown
off a fucking
off.
boat, bro.
That was when she attended this right here. It went to
Yo, what the
red carpet.
fuck, bitch? You were just
Um,
in the Atlantic. What the fuck?
yes. So and when they refer to the photo, that's the photo that they're showing right there. Um, it they she says she asks, and were you? Yeah, and she says yes. She says, did you attend the movie? She says yes. She said asks, did how did you get back to New York? She says on a commercial flight. I traded my seat to get away, but he traded to get next to me. Um, they asked, what did he show you? She said, freak off videos. He played them for me on one of his laptops. He said he'd release them. She asked, how did you feel? She said, trapped. She asked, when you landed in New York, what did you do? She said, we went to dinner. Then he wanted to have a freak off. God damn. So we had a freak off. God damn. It's like land in one city, freak off. Do one event, freak off. Fucking go to
Shit
sleep,
was
freak off. Go to
shit that
eat,
now.
freak
Fuck
off.
that. Hey, hold on, D. You gotta fix that. Ain't no sleep. Fuck that. She ain't sleeping. You know Diddy.
Like,
He ain't sleeping.
it seemed like they didn't. At this point, it seemed like they just flew around having freak offs all
Bro,
over the
flew
place.
around and free.
Yeah,
Shit, bro.
he gonna try to
This shit.
change his private jet to Air Freak.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's like
Some
it's
shit.
like
Air
boarding
Freak
now
off.
for Air Freak.
This shit is crazy. They
Bro, I'm
said
telling
they asked, why did you do it? She says to make him not threaten me. She asked, let's read. She says, let's read from June 13th, 2013. Has Sean been violent with you before this? She says, yes. She said, had you told him before you didn't want to do freak offs? She says, yes. You said you needed GHB. She said, yes. And that two escorts not available. I wrote only Paul available or Jake the white guy, but he can't do until 11. The other guy can't do earlier. It's just one more person knowing our secret. What did you mean? The freak offs. What is SLS? She says a hotel in Hollywood. They ask, when would you take Valium to before a freak off? She says, when I had anxiety. Sean's driver was bringing me Valium. It was Raheem, I think. The jurors, you can take a lunch now. They break for lunch. Jurors leave. The judge, Miss Slavic, is there any disagreements with the exhibits? She says yes. The defense wants the exhibits to be longer, and about masturbation. Okay, defense they wanted to cut it off at looking at my iPad. So let's get back to when the jury actually gets in and they get back to questioning Cassie. At 1:53, they start back questioning Cassie. Uh, she says, I have a binder for the court. The gallery will not be able to see these exhibits. I'll show you some exhibits 2A 404. She asks, who is it? She says, she worked for Sean. They ask, we will call her Mia. When you gave your device to the government, were they working? Uh, she says no, they were broken. They asked, put up to 602A for Miss Ventura and the jury only. What's on your skin? She says oil. So they were, ooh, goddamn, they were showing some of the freak off stuff over there. They said,
Bro, that's crazy.
when did Sean first hurt you physically? She says it started in the first year. Uh, they said, what staffer were present when Sean was physical with you? Defense says objection. Physical is vague. She says punching, hitting. They changed it to punching and hitting. Um, they they she asks, when did Sean first use violence on you? She says in New York City when we were in a car with his security and he knocked me around. She asks, what did he do? He hit me in the side of the head. I fell to the floor of his Escalade. God damn. In January 2009, did you attend an event in LA with Sean? She says yes. What happened as you left? She says I'd been speaking to a producer about music. Sean called me a slut. I hit him in the face. I'd been drinking. Uh she asks, "Did you see any injuries?" She says no. I was on the floor of the car and he stomped on my face. They asked, how long did this last? She said 10 minutes. Then I tried to get away, but Sean's security brought me back. Holy fuck. God damn. This shit is to start 10 minutes? Stomping on your face for 10 fucking minutes? And then the security brought you back? She said, who? Roger Woods. Roger Bonds, sorry. Uh, what did they tell me? To or tell you, I'm guessing that was a typo. To go to a hotel. They snuck me into a hotel covered up so no one would see my face. How long were you in at the London hotel? A week, a little more. An assistant brought me ice cream. What was the assistant's name? Javine? I don't know what the fuck that is. They asked, did you feel you could leave the Hotel London? She says, no. I understood his capability, his access to guns, the threats he made. When were you taken to the hotel after the assault? Or when were you taken to the hotel after the assault? Oh, okay, that was a typo. I guess they meant to say, "Were you taken to the hotel after the assault?" And she said no. Uh, they asked, "Did you know that the assault incident was reported?" She says, "I know there was a blind item in the on the internet without our names." She says, "Who raised the blind item to you?" She says, "My mother." Defense says objection. She says, "Not for the truth." If she's and they said overruled. She says this was before FaceTime was very popular, so I could hide myself. She asked if it was me. What did you say? I said no. I did not want my mother to know something of that magnitude and be in danger. When you went to a party with your girlfriends, what happened? She says I saw executives from BET. Then I heard that Sean was there. What did you do? I left, ran out as fast as I could. Why? I thought he was angry. Did he come to the hotel where you were staying? They said, yes, he beat me up and called me names. My face was bruised. God damn. This photo, who is it? They said Scott Miscuddy, known as Kid Cudi. We dated in 2011. Uh, did Sean find out? Yes, in my phone. She says Sean went through my phone during the freak off. He found the email. About what? Taking my toiletry bag to Scott the next day. Sean put a wine opener in his hand and threatened me. Uh, I called. God damn, a wine opener. What the fuck? I called. I called Scott on a burner phone. Where did you go? To Scott's house, then talked with Capricorn Clark, one of Sean's assistants. Then what? I went to the house Sean was staying at. He told me he would release videos and hurt Scott and I. What videos? Freak off videos of me. Sean kicked me in the back. I got a bruise. They asked, where did you go? She says, to my hotel with the burner phone. The room was torn up. Someone peed all over the floor, pooped in the toilet, and didn't flush it. It was gross. This was just before God damn. Nigga said, I'm gonna piss on your floors and shit on your toilet and not flush it and just, oh my, what the fuck going on? This, this would, like, you damn near couldn't even make this a regular movie. This shit would damn near have to be a dramatic comedy or some shit. Cause this shit is damn near fucking unbelievable. She says I sent an email to my mom in Capricorn from my flight to Boston and Connecticut. They asked, what did you write? She said that Sean said he would release the tape of me on Christmas and he had Scott and I hurt. And he'd have Scott and I hurt. He said he would be out of the country by then. Um, they asked, what are these photographs? She says my mother took them in Connecticut of the bruises on my back. She asks, were you entirely honest with your mother around the abuse? She says no. I said I was it was the this was the first time. She asks, did you tell her about the freak off? She said no. She said Ventura she says, is it possible to take a break? So um I want to note that it was said to me that during all of this and why she's taking a break was that answering a lot of these questions, Cassie had a lot of awkward outbursts, like sniffling and yeah, and just kind of trying to hold herself together while talking through all this. So I know that I'm reading this at a little bit of a lifeless pace, but throughout all of this, she's having a difficult time going through this and reliving this and saying all of this stuff. Okay, so 309, they come back in and they're back after Cassie has a little bit of a break and they have to continue questioning her. Um, the judge asks, is there any estimate? And she says an hour more. The goal is to finish the direct and allow the start of cross examination today. She says, bring the witness and the jury back in then. Okay, so they bring her back in. They ask, did anyone come to see you in Connecticut? She says, Scott did for a few days. I broke it off with him. It was too dangerous. They said, objection. It was overruled. Sean said he would hurt the both of us. So she was with Kid Cudi, started dating him in 2011, messing around with him, and then immediately we had Sean, threaten her with violence and, basically told her if she continued to, date him and see him, that she would she would be in trouble. The both of them would be hurt. So, and whatever that meant or whatever that means, who knows? But maybe we'll get into more of that, what that means during this case. But yeah, it's a bit disturbing. Um, so she says she went to see Sean. She says, "Where did you go after Connecticut?" She says, "I went to see Sean. He was in Arizona. His son in college. I told my mother I was going to LA for work. She asked, "Did Sean talk about Scott's car?" She said, Sean said he wanted Scott's friends to see Scott's car blow up. She says, "What happened next?" And this is some crazy shit because I have some notes around this one. But she says, "What happened next?" She says, we met Sean, Scott, and me. Scott said, "What about my vehicle?" Sean said, "What vehicle?" And that was the end of the meeting. And got a note after that to say after that the car was blown up. So then they put up a photo and says, "What is this?" Me and Sean in Kingston, Jamaica for Sound Clash. She says, "Were you bruised?" She says, "Yes." And in this photo, uh, what she says, "What is it?" She says, "Me in Sean's bathroom, September 18th, 2015. She says, "What were you doing?" She says, "Recuperating from being beat up by Sean in Las Vegas." Um, they she says, "We were having an after party in our suite. I talked to a producer, and Sean tapped me on the shoulder, called me into our room, and beat me, kicked me as I tried to hide behind the toilet. What stopped it?" She said D Rock and James Cruz came in. Um, it made D Rock sad. Then they ask, "What are these communications?" She says, "From D Rock to me. He says, 'Where are you? It's time to ice your face.'" Why? I had just been beaten up by Sean. Then they say, all were all these were all the times he beat were these all the times he beat you?" They asked. She says, "No, there were more." They asked, with who else you've seen Sean be violent with?" She said, "I saw him drag an assistant out of bed. I saw him punch Ellie or Ley in his head. So she punched him right in the back of the head one time. And one time in Turks and Caicos, he dragged a person. She's I believe we had a freak off in Turks and Caicos. They says, "What floor did you live on in 875 Cormstock?" She said, "The 17th floor." Says, "Did a friend stay with you?" She said, "Yes." Sean came and held her and threw her on the patio furniture out on the balcony. She said, I saw Sean bring her back from over the balcony, then throw her over the patio furniture. So I have a note of this to say that Sean lifted her up from behind, like lifted her up from behind her, and he was holding this woman over the balcony, holding her over the basset. This is what makes me think that he really
This
was
is
holding Wale over a fucking balcony, because
oh, bro.
this seems like to be like it's a pattern of behavior. Like, I don't know. Wale might be lying. Wale might be lying. I don't know, because if you think about it, he was willing to blow up Kid Cudi's car. He was willing to hold a whole person over a fucking balcony. You mean to tell me he ain't hold Wale over that balcony? Wale said it didn't happen. And Wale, even in a tweet, said he's no longer taking interviews after they asked the validity of that situation, of that altercation happening, which is, I don't know. It's kind of telling to me, but it's fucking crazy. He had this woman held over a fucking balcony, I'm guessing until she was compliant, and then threw her back over the furniture. And they asked, "And Carrie Morgan?" And then she says, I saw Sean hit her in the head." Jesus Christ, he just beating all of these bitches up. They says, did you get drugs on your own? She says, occasional drug dealers, opioids, Xanax, Valium. Um, she says Sean would put the pills in a vitamin C bottles on the sink in the New York apartment. He'd say, you can take them. He had doctors who would write the scripts in the name of assistants or in my name. So the way it was noted to me and described to me was, he would have all his assistants, her, him, the assistants, everybody, and he would have these, these doctors who he had paid off that would subscribe, to all of these people. And when one person, if one person, you know, picked up a prescription too soon, then he would just use another assistant's name or somebody else's name and do it and get the drugs and stuff like that way. So he had kind of a system set up. So they say they asked what your brother's birthday party in Connecticut in 2013. What happened? She said, my mother told me someone was taking pictures of me. I went and punched her in the head. What the fuck? God damn, Cassie, bitch, she just she she done turned into a whole motherfucker. She having PTSD out this motherfucker. She said, you testify your relationship with Sean ended in 2018. How was your health? She says, I was sleepwalking. I had PTSD. They said objection. They said overruled. They asked, what is this? A photo of my front door in 2018. And if I can describe this to you guys, Cassie basically had a knife, a kitchen knife, big ass kitchen knife, lodged into her front door, lodged into it, into the wood. Okay, just sitting at the front door. This is how paranoid this woman was and how fucked up in the head she was around this time. So they said, why is the knife there? She says Sean was coming around a lot, so I had it. They asked August 2018, what happened? She says, we were having a closure conversation at a restaurant in Malibu. He was trying to convince me to go to Burning Man. She says, were you seeing anyone? And then she answered, my now husband. Now I want to note again, as I told you guys earlier, this is the part where they removed her husband. They made her husband leave, okay? Because they did not want him to hear the next part of what you guys are about to hear now, okay?
All right.
They were in
Hey,
fear.
Diesel, please. I'm on the edge of my seat, bro, and I start working 9 minutes. Please get to it. I'm not trying to rush you. I just want to
No
hear this
problem.
part, dog.
But I just want to tell you, they were in fear that this man was going to get up and attack Diddy, okay? So they had to remove him. So she says, we were having a closure conversation at the restaurant in Malibu. She says, were you seeing anyone? My now husband. They asked, what happened next? She answered, Sean came to my house and graped me on my living room floor. His eyes were
Oh
black.
yeah,
It was like it was like taking something from you. They asked, you cried? What did Sean do? He continued and finished inside of me, then got up and left.
bro.
Whew.
I'm
Yeah,
glad they removed him, bro.
yeah. I mean, they asked, did you ever have sex with him again? She says, yes, voluntarily.
Oh no.
We had a good night. I went back to his house. They said, can you explain why you did that after he, took it from you?
Yeah.
She says, we had been together for 10 years. And she expressed like, it was hard for her to just let let that go. So, who did you stay in touch with? She says, most people, though I pulled away. They ask, what did you message Sean about after that? She says, just checking in. And what did he send you? That he had iPads full of images. Get him his money. They said, what money? For having paid my now husband to be my trainer. Because as you guys know, as remember, guys, Diddy started paying her now husband to be her trainer. She started cheating on him with the now husband. After they broke up, Diddy came to her and he wanted demanding this money back. Okay? They says, "What did you write back?" She says, "Do you want me to tell the truth? It's much deeper than iPads. There was abuse more than freak offs." And this is where I kind of realized and I kind of said to myself, you know, Diddy Diddy almost seemingly had a chance to avoid all of this. He had a chance, it seems like, to avoid all of this, but he couldn't stop treating this woman how he was treating her and couldn't stop abusing this woman and just terrorizing her life. It's crazy. So it says, money back for she says, "Do you want me to tell the truth? It was much deeper than iPads. There was abuse more than freak offs." And she says, "There was a time I could take the pain. I tried to walk out in traffic after that. My husband wouldn't let me. I had trauma therapy." So she said she had after talking with him casually, and then he started threatening her with this stuff. She tried to walk out of her front doors. She said, and I have noted this because they didn't really elaborate in the full picture of what she said, but she said she went and basically said goodbye to her husband and son, and basically told them, you would be better, you guys would be better off without me. You guys are good. You guys would be better off without me. And tried to walk out the front door into traffic. So she said there was a time I could take the pain, tried to walk out in traffic. My husband wouldn't let me and I had to have trauma therapy. She says, "Did you write?" She says, "A book with chapters. My mom helped me." She says, "What did you want with the book?" She says, "I all I wanted was Sean to read it. That's it. That's what I was putting it out for." That's what she was saying in the court. She said, I wasn't putting the book out for any other reason but for the fact that I wanted Sean to read it." Um, and they didn't elaborate here, but she says, I just wanted him to understand, because they asked the question, but I see they leave out, and I have the note here. She says, "I just wanted him to know the pain he put me through." So then they come back and ask, "What pain did Sean put you through?" She says, "Shame. To carry the things that were shameful for him. I took on a lot of responsibility for that. I shouldn't have. I never should have. He brought the concept to me when I was 22. It was expected of me. I felt horrible." Um, they asked, "How did you get chapters to Sean?" She said, "Through an attorney. I had reached out to KK, asked her if he read it. She said it was not taken seriously." Wow. They said, "How much did you ask for the book?" So this is getting into the lawsuit and the book thing and stuff like that. And so allow me to elaborate a little bit more, but let me get through this, because I want to really tell you how, I give it to you how she said it. But um she said, "How much did you ask for the book?" She says 30 million. She says, "Did you sue?" She said November 2023. They asked, "What happened with the lawsuit?" She says it settled for 20 million. Now, I want to add detail to this, because like I said, it was noted to me that in all of this, they asked, "Well, why did you pick 30 million? what made you come up with 30 million? And she said, well, it was just a random number. I just picked a number. I just wanted a number that was going to grab his attention. I wanted to grab his attention with the number. So 30 million was the random number that I came up with, which if you ask me, it's not even fucking enough. But she was like, just 30 million was the number that I landed on, and that was it, and that's what I asked for. They said, what happened with the lawsuit? She said it settled for 20 million in 24 hours. So she actually received 20 million for the settlement. So we're getting the exact details here. We didn't originally know this. They asked, why are you testifying in this trial? So if you got your money, why are you testifying here? She says, I can't carry this anymore. What's wrong is wrong. I tried people like uh I tried people like they were disposable, escorts, anybody. They asked, I don't know what they meant by that. It seems like there was a typo there though. They asked, how many freak offs did you have with Sean? She says, it's impossible to know. Hundreds. She says, after you broke up with Sean, did you ever do a freak off? She said, no, absolutely not. And they said, no further questions. Then they had a sidebar once again. Um, they spoke a little bit more, and I'm just trying to see. I believe that might have been the end of that day.
Yeah. All right, D's. Hey man, appreciate being on, brother. I gotta head out.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you for stopping through.
Yes, sir. Anytime.
It's always
Anytime.
appreciated. Alrighty. So let's pick up where we left off in today, and we're getting live updates right now. So this is today, May 15th, and I'm guessing we're gonna get into the cross examination. So Ventura's lawyer, Wigder, he says, I have the right to be a part of the meeting to confer about which evidence she can be questioned about. She is only she is the only victim witness that has standing under Rule 412. The judge says we have to move forward. Other issues, Miss Slavic, and they said, as noted in our email to the court early this morning, we might, in the judicial documents, are not being put on on the public docket, so we can't see that. Okay, so this is Slavic. They said um, the defense last night dumped 400 exhibits on us, and this cannot continue throughout the course of the trial. So the defense is trying to hit Cassie with these exhibits. They're trying to hit niggas with some curveballs. That's what's going on here. Okay. Um. So they're bringing in the jury. Let's get to that. So Combs' lawyer Estevado is coming up, and it says, Miss Ventura, you love Mr. Combs, correct? So now we are officially getting into cross examination of Diddy, and this is Diddy's lawyer asking questions from here on out. Okay, so let's get into it. This is 2 hours ago, and it's ongoing right now. So they said, Miss Ventura, you loved Mr. Combs, correct? She says, I did. For 11 years, you took care of him in some ways. They asked, you called him larger than life. She says, I did. Says others called him Diddy or Puff Daddy, but you called him Sean, right? She says, yes. They asked, you knew a version of him the rest of the world couldn't see, right? They said objection. It was overruled. In ways, they asked, you kept coming back to him for 11 years. She says, I wouldn't say coming back. You believed he loved you too. I did believe he loved me too. So when he cheated on you, it hurt. Not every time. She asked, bring up this defense exhibit. They said, objection, not in evidence. The judge says, that's true. This is not in evidence. Uh, they said, then they then asked, Miss Ventura, read it to yourself. Why did you send this message? She says, to let him know I was going to dinner. They asked, what was going on when these messages were sent? She says, I'm not sure. They asked, what was going on in your relationship then? She says, it was early. We were loving. They says, I offer it. They said, objection being offered for the truth. They said, overruled. She says, please read. She said, so she's reading the text messages now, and she says, love you, smiley face. I'll fly anywhere for you. I love you, Cass. This 2009 email. They said, objection, hearsay. The judge says, Mr. Avado asks more questions. She says, she asks, from Blackberry, what is BG? She says, baby girl. They says, what did you write? You hungry, Pop Pop? And Mr. Combs wrote to you, we are so in love, we don't do anything else. How long how long had you been seeing each other? Like 2.5 years. She asked, please read this, 1364. She says, I haven't talked to you at all. You don't even try. You rushed me off the phone. I'm really hurt. I don't need your money. I need some attention. They said, you really wanted special time with Mr. Combs? She said, yes. They said, you testified that you told him, I love you so much, you make me a better woman. Ventura said, I definitely wrote those messages. They asked, you wrote, I can't wait until we have a baby of our own. You knew that he had 6 children at the time. She says, yes. So now these messages about freak offs. When you say you know it doesn't matter to me, you mean weekend or weekday, either is fine. She says, that's what it says. Then they ask, Mr. Combs says, maybe we can call Jules. Can you do it? Yes. Then they says, this was an explicit message from you about uh, the anticipated freak off. They call an objection and then recess. Okay, so then they're back at 10:48, approximately an hour ago. And it says, the judge says, Mr. Estevado, you may proceed. And he asks, Miss Ventura, this is from Mr. Combs to you. You respond with an extremely explicit message, right? She says, yes. She says, this this is 2 days after planning a freak off, right? Yes. They ask, he said, I want to see. How did you reply? She replied, I can't wait either. You wrote, I feel like I want to F right now, right? And she says, that's what it says. They asked, Mr. Combs says, I'm so horny I can't concentrate. What do you say? And she says that I'll go to Donnie Reed for candles and then set up the room. They asked, did you understand that he was going to take another video of you? They said, objection, speculation. Judge says, Mr. Estevado, you can move on. They asked, you ask any pills on you? Yes. What pills are you taking then? Opioids, she says. Um, you deleted videos on your device, right? She says, yeah, yes. She says, what did you write? They said that I needed to feel this is my husband The only one who will see this side of me. Okay. Um, they asked, "Were you afraid that Mr. Combs was only seeing you for sex in this way?" She said that was a concern. They asked, "You still were not public in your relationship with him?" She says, "Correct." She says, "Were the freak offs important?" She answered, "Integral to us." They asked, "Who was at your 21st birthday party in Las Vegas?" She says, "Britney Spears, Dallas, Austin." They then ask, "How did you get them there?" She says, "They came for Sean." They ask, "You're very beautiful and charming." She says, "Thank you. It's true." Then they says, who is Tommy Matola?" Ventura says, "A well-known producer." Then they says, then they ask, "Were you an up-and-coming star?" And she says, "I guess you can say that. After you signed with Bad Boys, things were still platonic?" She says, "Yes." "You had a rough performance." Or they asked, "You had a rough performance?" Ventura says, "106 in Park, it did not go well for me." Then they asked, "How did he help you after?" They said, "We did a YouTube video. He said, everybody makes mistakes." They asked, "What was wrong?" She said, "I couldn't hear myself." They asked, "You were dating Mr. Leslie. How much older than you was he?" She said, 10 years. "Then you traveled to Miami with Mr. Combs. The, fly- the flyer of the event was just a cover to spend time with Mr. Combs, right?" She says, "That's true." "You had a tattoo of Mr. Leslie's initial on your body, right?" She says, "Yes." "How many tattoos did you have then?" They said, "Objection, relevance, overruled, but let's keep it moving." She said, "Three. The one on your arm, no regrets." Um, she says, "Mr. Combe taught you how to do oral sex." She said, "He did." Then they said, "Look at this. Tell me you're ready. Can you read it?" She says, "You can read it. It's making me laugh. It's from 2007. Then they said, "You wrote it. I feel, I feel protected. I feel protected. You are sweet." Um, you wrote, "I see that Carrie is better fitting for you. I'm hurt that you think I'm malicious. You're very important to me. Ex Cass." And then Cassie is laughing while they're reading this. She says, "What are you trying to convey?" She says, "It's like a journal entry." Um, they ask, "You discussed Carrie Morgan. Did you think Mr. Combs was attracted to her?" She says, "There was a point in the very beginning." Then they ask, did that complication carry on in your relationship?" She says, "Not really. Carrie was just always with us." Then they ask, "I'd like to start asking about freak offs. Sometimes you wore a wig and a mask." She said, "Yes." She said, "The general public did not know." And then they said, "Objection, rephrase." She said, "No one knew until November 2023 in the public." And she says, "Yes." They asked, "Fair to say his career was ruined after your lawsuit?" She says, "I can understand that." Then they asked, "Let's read the messages Mr. Combs wrote when are you on your period?" She says, "Not now." What 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 you be thinking about when you horny?" They asked, or I'm guessing Sean asked. And she says, "If you don't want to read the answers, I can read them." And Ventura says, "Thank you." She says, "The O has a lot of O's after them, right?" She says, "Yes." "After a freak off, you'd make love with Mr. Combs." She says, "Yes." She says, "Your period?" Mr. Combs is asking you when you're on it. right? She says, yep. He says he's asking in the context of when to meet up and have sex. She says, looks like it. They ask, sometimes you watched him with a female. She says, two or three times. Did you talk with Mr. Combs about the swinger lifestyle? She says, no, that no one talks about it. They ask, were you keeping Freak Off secret from your friends? She says, yes. They ask, his assistants help him? She says, with everything. They asked, uh, would remember if an assistant came in during one of your sessions with an escort, right? She says, not necessarily. I was high. So you don't remember much. She says, I had my privacy invaded a lot during that relationship. This is from July 2012. You say, Mr. Combs, I'm horny and bored. This was after a freak off, right? She says, there are a lot of text in there. Said to be 25 pages. There will be defense exhibits. Ostend ostensibly as entered into evidence and available. Let's see if they got more. They said, and this is this is the last update that we have. They said they asked, uh, I would ask that the witness be allowed to read the entire document. The judge says how many pages, and they says 8. She says we don't have a copy for the witness, and it says we'll show it on screen, but not to the public. That sucks. Okay. So that's where we are right now so far. And you know, it it seems like they are, I don't really know where Diddy's defense is going with this. It seems like they're trying to set up some things for uh, a long play later down the road. But they're, you know, seemingly trying to paint the picture that, as I said, they should do, that there were, you know, there was some type of real love between them. But I would take it a step further, and I would be trying to, you know, bring forth the moments where they had just some downtime. You know, you just sat and had a picnic, just chilled and watch a movie, or you know, I would be highlighting those moments and asking about those moments, and you know, trying to find as many of those moments as possible because um I think it's important that you put that forward and you try to, you know, make that known to the jury as well, and show that, you know, you had some type of real relationship. But on the other end, if I'm the prosecution, then yeah, I want to make it seem like this is all they did. That's all there was. She was just an object, which is what it seems like they have the edge, because it seems like that's all she was. It seems like, you know, this man didn't even like her. It didn't even, you know, necessarily love her. You can't love a person and do shit like this day in and day out. So, and it seems like they had this part of their lives, and um you know, this side of Diddy really tightly under wraps. Like they had this shit close to the chest. And you know, this is something that he didn't even reveal to his kids. It was noted and said to me about, you know, the day that they had yesterday, that, you know, he would say, my kids can't see you like this. You need to go and sit in a hotel for a week or whatever like that and recover, because my kids can't see you like this. You can't be around them like this. You know what I'm saying? Or whoever can't. So they played. Not even his children were privy to what was going on. So he kept this part of his life very tightly under wraps. Besides the constant freak offs and footage that he had, and getting pretty sloppy with, you know, these situations, he was wilding. It was only a matter of time before somebody was going to drop some footage, say something, or do something about, you know, what was really going on between them. So let me see if we got another update yet. Not yet. Um, so yeah, I mean that's where we're at today so far. Um, it's pretty interesting, guys. I'm not gonna lie. It's a ongoing thing, and until it seems like it's just one after the other right now. Okay, did we? No, we still didn't get another update. It seems like it's just Nick said, "Let's get moving." They tight. It seems like it's just one thing after the other right now, but understand that they're gonna have to. She has to read this entire document. So I will get into and get the full recollection, and as I said, this shout out Inner City Press, because they've been keeping us updated with what's going on live. But this is why I got a couple of people in there that I'm talking to that can give us the bits and pieces that we're not necessarily getting. So I will 100% try to make sure that I see and I get what was said, and while she's reading out this, and maybe they just don't know how to put all of this together yet. But tomorrow we will pick up from this spot right here, as they figure this out. And I want to appreciate everybody and thank everybody who popped out and came into this live stream today, this recap. And as we are getting into day 4, like I said, we'll pick up tomorrow and do tomorrow day four's recap in full. And yeah, that way I can get the information that I need to get to give you guys the full, uh, you know, a concept of what's going on here, and you can get all the details of what's being said, because my boy is doing a great job, but he can only type but so fast. Okay, so yeah, appreciate you guys for stopping through, and everybody who's been stopping through consistently every day. I appreciate you coming in here to get your wrap up. It's always a pleasure for having you guys. I hope you rolled one and had you a nice morning, or maybe you just listening on the way to work or something like that. I appreciate you. We're going to continue to do these, and try to stay updated with this trial and keep you guys in tuned into everything that's happening here. Okay. So again, I appreciate you guys. I love everybody who's subscribed and who's been sharing, who's been liking the video. So please, even if you're in here right now, like this, repost this, so we can continue to reach more people. We can continue to get more people into the Doja room, because we talk about a little bit of everything here, as this is what's hot this week, and I'm locked into this trial and locked into this case and getting you guys the information around this week. Just note that I am going to continue to deliver the other topics, and everything that's going on. I've been working hard this week. I'm exhausted, but that's not about to stop me from delivering what I need to deliver to you guys, and make sure that y'all are in the loop about everything going on here in the Doja room. And real quick, if you don't mind, please, I also do my articles. So check out the articles. I got a couple that I'm finishing up, and I'm probably going to drop today. And I've just been doing a lot of research. I've been digging into a lot of things. I've been trying to really hustle and get out as much content as possible. So again, I really want to thank you guys for stopping in. Again, check out that playlist. As I said, that playlist is called Diesel's Doja. Check that out for me. Tap in, and that is the official playlist for the Doja Room. So I appreciate you guys for stepping through. To all my stoners, hippies, and hip hop enthusiasts, I'm your boy Dope Boy Diesel. This is the Doja Room, and I've had a pleasure with you guys here today. I'll see you next time.
Yeah. Hey, this that special sauce. Spill that drip, I wipe it off. $1 million worth of game. Can't feel that I work too hard. Poetry all in these.